Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello, tungasugittis tavvunga taanna saqqatinnasuertara kaana taasivuertaani oqauseqarluujarsimulluni qanuigilaunarpaluka qanuigilauvuluka inooqatigni nulavummi tusaamuyattaaqaluarpattauqa takuganguallarlavu taannasivullerpa Canada grocery prices ginni oqauseqarsimulluni.
Fact number 1, you're not crazy. Fact number 2, inflation for food has gone up 6.2%. Fact number 3, that is the highest rate for the G7 countries.
And keep in mind, Mark Carney literally told everyone to judge him and suggested that everyone was going to be judging him by what happens at the grocery store. And what's happening? Prices are going up and expected to continue to go up for the whole rest of the year.
Taanna iqqaumagus election times Mark Carney uqayorsimugmaan. He wants to be judged by the price of the groceries in Canada. Manna qanugivisugli since last year until now, grocery prices. From where I live, akittoqarsimayorullertillu. And not just food, even other stuff like electronics, toys, and others. Akittoqartorulugmata.
So let's judge him, guys.
Yes, Canada. Fact number 4, Mark Carney told us to judge him by the price of groceries.
Yep.
This was his campaign promise, that he would lower the price of groceries.
Has he lowered the price of groceries in Canada?
Fact number 5, 10 years ago, an average family of 4 would spend approximately $150 per week on groceries. It has gone up by more than double, 127% in a decade. Like I said, you are not crazy. Food is insanely expensive. Fact number 6, more than 1 million people are using food banks in Ontario. We are now at record high use of food banks. This is the 9th year in a row where food bank use has increased. Fact number 7, there's a secret RCMP report that warns that Canadians may revolt once they realize how broke they are. Not only that, it says that whatever the situation is right now, it's probably going to get worse in the next 5 years. My friends, you are not crazy. You're not crazy in thinking that 10 years ago, life was more affordable. Things are getting completely out of control. Inflation is getting out of hand, and we should not be the top country in the G7 with the highest growth for food inflation. Ask yourself this question. Over the last decade, over this last period, what party was in power?
Under your leadership.
Mark Carney and before him Justin Trudeau. They're the ones that made the food price inflation. And even with the friggin' carbon tax, which taxes everything.
And the President Xi's leadership.
President Xi's leadership. He meant Xi Jinping, China's president.
Our teams have worked hard in the subsequent weeks and months to address some specific issues that had built up over time, but more than that, to put in place the foundation for the new strategic partnership between our countries. I'm deeply grateful, my colleagues are deeply grateful for that commitment and the spirit of that commitment, one of respect, frank exchange, purpose, and progress. After all, the relationship between our countries is historic, it's complementary, and it's deeply personal for so many Canadians. As you mentioned, mine is the first visit of a Canadian Prime Minister to China in nearly a decade. The world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order. The new world order. The new world order.
To share with you the new world order, where residents will own nothing and be happy. That's what the new world order will do. Peter Ilnick, please don't support him. I saw your post.
So Canada. Canada has what the world wants. We are an energy superpower. We hold vast reserves of critical minerals. We have the most educated population in the world.
But liberal laws and policies will keep those in the ground and will not make Canada a superpower. He's collapsing Canadian economy. He needs to deal with Trump, not China.
Our pension funds are amongst the world's largest and most sophisticated investors.
Our pension funds go. About a month or two ago, he invested the Canadian pension funds in Qatar. Yep, Qatar. Canadian pension funds.
In other words, we have capital, talent. We also have a government with immense fiscal capacity to act decisively. And we have the values to which many others aspire. Canada is a pluralistic society that works. Our public square is loud, diverse, and free. Canadians remain committed to sustainability. We are a stable and reliable partner in a world that is anything but. A partner that builds and values relationships for the long term. And we have something else. We have a recognition of what's happening and a determination to act accordingly. We understand that this rupture calls for more than adaptation. It calls
the rupture that he caused. Hopefully his policies won't cause Canada's economy to collapse.
For honesty about the world as it is. We are taking the sign out of the window. We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy. But we believe that from the fracture, we can build something bigger, better, stronger, more just. This is the task of the middle powers. The countries that have the most to lose from a world of fortresses and a most to gain from genuine cooperation. The powerful have their power. But we have something too. The capacity to stop pretending, to name reality, to build our strength at home, and to act together. That is Canada's path. We choose it openly and confidently, and it is a path wide open to any country willing to take it with us.
Into any country willing to risk economic collapse. Nakaruktangan, Mr. Donald Trump, about invading Canada or not invading Canada or Greenland. TDS kakti unok tayong mata. And I recently found out Peter Ilnick has TDS. He needs to be healed from it.
We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that.
See, he won't do that, girl.
Okay, now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want.
Like that misinformation, fear-mongering by EU and CBC liberals.
To use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland, where we already had it, as a trustee, but respectfully returned it back to Denmark not long ago after we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now. After I rebuilt the military in my first term and continue to do so today, we have a budget of $1.5 trillion. No, economic force. We don't need anything they have.
And this video is from February 2025, last year. Way last year. He said he won't use military, just economic force.
And I said that to, as I called him, Governor Trudeau, I said, listen, what would happen if we didn't subsidize you? He said Canada would dissolve. Canada wouldn't be able to function.
See, Canada would dissolve. Canada wouldn't be able to function. And since Mark Carney, Prime Minister Ngome, he's been slowly collapsing Canadian companies, small businesses all over Canada. CBC Iraq needs to report that more often instead of what's going on in Spain and eastern Ukraine. Why don't they report the western Ukraine where they're making over $1 billion ski resort in western Ukraine? Research that, Inuit. New ski resort in western Ukraine cost over $1 billion. It's true. You can research it.
On NATO, right now, it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country. The United. Are you saying that? Would you do that?
No, you're saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
that by
say it.
force
No,
right
you're
now?
telling me that that's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do.
So what are the options?
Your network doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after.
Look, they don't know what she's gonna do. Kaya kang your network don't know what I'm gonna do.
The meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right now?
Well, I wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not going to give up options, but it's very important. Greenland is very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan
Thank you
and
for telling me
Iraq.
that. I appreciate it.
But
I have a very good relationship
they're
with
an
Denmark,
ally.
and we'll see how it all Mark, are you here?
This part, Mark Carney while he was on the stage at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark. We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland. Is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built? We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you
Our
make your
workers come
statements.
first.
Secretary Lutnick, Actually talk about windmills in China.
We can have policies that impact our workers. Sovereignty is your borders. You're entitled to have borders. You shouldn't offshore your medicine. You shouldn't offshore your semiconductors. You shouldn't offshore your entire industrial base and have it be hollowed out beneath you. You should not be dependent for that which is fundamental to your sovereignty on any other nation. And if you're going to be dependent on someone, it darn well better be your best allies. Okay? And so that is a different way of thinking. It is completely different than the WEF. I viewed the WEF as not a flagpole in the middle, but in fact, they are the flag. Whichever way the wind blew, so it blew. You should have solar, you should have wind. Why are you going to do solar and wind? Why would Europe agree to be net zero in 2030 when they don't make a battery? They don't make a battery. So if they go 2030, they are deciding to be subservient to China, who makes the battery.
Fact number
Canada make batteries lockdown na but for some reason it never really seemed to work out. Kanimaka. Korea, thanks for watching.